Your Excellency and my dear brother, Dr. Emmerson Mnangagwa, President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, let me once again begin by saying how tremendous it has been and what great joy it has given us to host you and your delegation here in Nairobi. I can say to our brothers and sisters that our discussions have not only renewed our friendship and brotherly ties, but more importantly, they have reinvigorated our bilateral relationship. Your Excellency, the friendship between our two countries and peoples goes back to the days before independence, with many people from the Shona community who are now recognized and regularized as Kenyan citizens settled in our country in 1960. So, ladies and gentlemen, today we have held fruitful deliberations touching on a number of bilateral and regional matters of mutual interest. We have agreed to review the issues on our bilateral air service agreement in order to allow our people to travel between our two countries more freely. After a break of more than 20 years, the third session of the Joint Permanent Commission for Cooperation has also been convened here in Nairobi, and a number of actions that are key to the envisioned consolidation of our political, socio-cultural cooperation have been agreed upon. Underpinning these actions are 7 memorandums of understanding that have been signed, which will go a long way towards deepening our diplomatic, economic, and people-to-people cooperation and enable us to work together to address critical issues, in particular those related to youth employment and women empowerment. The said MOUs include an MOU on political and diplomatic consultation, an MOU on cooperation in the field of tourism and wildlife conservation, an MOU on cooperation in the field of civil aircraft accidents and serious incidents investigations, an MOU on cooperation in the promotion of women empowerment and community development, an MOU on cooperation in the field of youth affairs, an MOU on the promotion of cooperatives, an MOU on the cooperation in the field of sports and recreation. Our technical teams are under instruction to expedite the implementation of the actions that have been agreed upon today, and we are very keen, Your Excellency, to build on this historic visit to establish a strong and vibrant partnership between our two countries. The MOU on cooperation in promotion of women empowerment and community development, in particular, is of significance to us as we celebrate the International Women's Day yesterday. We all rededicated ourselves to scaling up the efforts to achieve gender equality and to strengthen women empowerment. This MOU will go a long way in realizing this important development agenda. It seeks to promote a closer working relationship between our two countries in achieving the shared vision of women empowerment and community development, and also facilitate the sharing of knowledge strategies and technology for our women. We have also continued to emphasize our strong determination to continue with our support of Zimbabwe against the illegal sanctions that have been imposed on that country and continue to cause undue problems, issues, and trouble for the people of Zimbabwe. And this we consider to be unfair, for these hardships are artificially created, and we continue to call on the international community to remove these illegal sanctions. As I conclude, Your Excellency, allow me to say how pleased we are that Zimbabwe has been elected as a member of the African Union Peace and Security Council for the next 2 years, starting on the 1st of April 2022. We offer our hearty congratulations and assure you of Kenya's support during your tenure. Once again, Your Excellency, we welcome you to Kenya and your delegation and your commitment to continue enhancing not only the bilateral relations between our two countries, but the solidarity of our brothers and sisters across the African continent.
Good afternoon to you all. I came to Kenya yesterday on a 2-day state visit at the invitation of my dear brother, His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta. Let me state that Zimbabwe and Kenya enjoy excellent bilateral relations since Zimbabwe attained independence in 1918. My visit to Kenya is aimed at consolidating our relations by refocusing our cooperation to increase bilateral trade, investment, tourism, transport, science, technology, and innovation, among other aspects such as defense and security matters. This consolidation of relations is necessary, especially in the face of the growing threat of terrorism on our continent, and in particular in North and West Africa, as well as in Mozambique. We also discussed other regional, continental, and international issues of mutual interest and concern to the two republics. The current new normal, resulting from the current COVID-19 pandemic and the resultant suffering and disruption to our economic activities, equally received our attention. We reaffirmed the need for cooperation at the bilateral, continental, and global levels to deal with pandemics of this nature, now and in the future. Both Zimbabwe and Kenya are committed to enhance cooperation towards mitigating the adverse effects of climate change and other environmental issues. My visit to the Republic of Kenya comes just after the conclusion of the 3rd session of the Joint Permanent Commission on cooperation between our two countries. The convening of this meeting is a positive development, which shows that our relations are going in the right direction. It is through the implementation of our MOUs, which have been articulated by my brother, that our economies will be transformed for higher standards of living for our people. His Excellency President Kenyatta and I discussed the ways to take full advantage of the regional and the continental trading blocs to which our countries are members. This, in our view, will go a long way towards increasing the volume of bilateral trade for the realization of inclusive and sustainable economic growth, as well as the African Union's Agenda 2063, aimed at building the Africa we all want. I also took the opportunity to thank my brother, His Excellency President Kenyatta, the government and people of Kenya for warmly welcoming the members of the Shona community into the Kenyan family by granting them citizenship status in Kenya. I thank Kenya for this support and solidarity for Zimbabwe in the call for the unconditional removal of unilateral sanctions that were imposed on Zimbabwe by some Western countries. Finally, Zimbabwe is committed to continue close consultations in our efforts to strengthen and continue to broaden and consolidate the bilateral relations and cooperation between Harare and Nairobi. I thank you, my brother.
Thank you very much, Your Excellencies.